This is a journey into sound. This is a journey into sound. A journey which along the way will bring to you new color, new dimension, new value.
This is a story about connection between people, places, and energies that can't be explained. This is a call to remember what it means to be fully human. Together in the chaos, in the night, in the now. Connected to something greater, aligned with each other.
People always ask me, what is electronic dance music?
It's freedom. You can be whatever you want.
Dance music brings out that animalistic side of us.
This means something. I'm not just that guy just dropping beats.
I would practice in my bedroom, dreaming about playing in local clubs. Back then, there was no blueprint for a superstar DJ.
I felt like I was on the roller coaster where I was living the life up to my neck.
The drum.
Growing up as an African-American kid in LA, it's tough. The dance music culture helped break that mold for me.
I was 14 years old when I signed my first record deal. When I started playing gigs, I wasn't even allowed to enter the club.
I had no money, I was sleeping on the couch, but I'll be like, I'm gonna take the city over.
I never thought I'd ever see the world for a box of records.
Sicuramente tra i primi c'è a livello di riscontro con il pubblico, sicuramente non possiamo dimenticarci di Carl Cox per quello che riguarda la scena un po' più con BPM un po' più alti. Per quello che riguarda invece la mia scena ce ne sono veramente tante, Frankie Nichols in primis, che è il nostro papà, gli stessi Masters at Work, Todd Terry, Roger Sanchez, tutti veramente dei grandissimi artisti che conosco da 30 anni, delle bellissime persone. In più poi dipende dalla scena, perché per dirti c'è tutta poi la scena quella tra virgolette un po' commerciale dove vince Bobby Sinclair, David Guetta, che è una scena che a me non mi appartiene, però pure su DJ che fanno parecchi numeri riescono a fare platee di 200.000 persone, quindi sono anche da tenere come riferimento, quindi è difficile dire chi è il numero uno.
So welcome back to A Journey into Sound. And in this episode, we celebrate the legends of electronic dance music. The DJs who have shaped the soundscape and captured the hearts of millions. In the vibrant world of electronic dance music, DJs are not just performers. They've become cultural icons, trendsetters and pioneers. And in episode 3 of A Journey into Sound, the rise of electronic music, we delve into the lives and careers of the most legendary DJs and producers who have shaped the genre.
Just got a phone call from DJ Mag, and you're #1 DJ in the world. And I was like, what? I wanted to become a DJ, and when Tiesto won that award, I was like, Mom and Dad, one day I want to become the #1 DJ in the world.
Felt like just won the Oscars.
Everything I associate with DJ Mag, that one memory of Tiesto giving me the award is the craziest.
The amount of people who are invested in it, who's where, who's #1.
You're going to look at it, you're going to see the rankings, you're curious to see who's top 10, who's top 100, who's made it.
People really want to be part of that top 100.
DJ Mag's Top 100 DJs poll has become somewhat of an industry bible, and it's a testament to the influence. So we're ranking the most impactful figures in the scene, and their annual list is crucial for both fans and the artists alike, serving as a kind of barometer of popularity and innovation, while inspiring established artists to keep learning and emerging DJs to strive for fame and greatness. So to choose those artists we feature here from the vast pool of talent, we've chose to focus on DJs who are the biggest sellers, the highest earners, and play in the largest venues, and most importantly, those with the most passionate fan bases and enduring legacies. Now, these criteria highlight the multifaceted impact of these DJs on the electronic music landscape.
My top 3 is important. Oh no, that's not that hard. Laurent Garnier.
Yeah.
Charles Hoff. See that. Frankie Narfus.
It's all good.
Danny Chinetti.
Really?
Yeah. A sport. I know my DJs. I know my music.
That have influenced me in my life, hundreds. But if I had to narrow it down to just 3, forever gonna always start with Larry Levan, as most of us New York DJs will. He made us feel what he was feeling, and that's how I like to be thought of as a DJ today. I love that people could really feel what I'm feeling and my emotions. And I say Larry for that reason. And the second person I say is Shep Pettibone. A lot of people don't know of that name today, but if they did their research and Google on him, he's mostly known for producing and remixing most of Madonna's music. But he started out as a DJ, and he became Shep Pettibone, known for the Master Mix. He had a radio show on WKTU, and he was a champion of editing songs, but I'm talking about like with tape machines. You know, like he was exceptional. And then he went on to become the most sought after remixer producer. And he had brought so many hits to especially British artists: Depeche Mode, Erasure, New Order, Pet Shop Boys. I mean, if people Googled his name, go to Discogs, or I should say Wikipedia, Shep Pettibone, the amount of body of work that he's done. So I learned so much from him because I went from also being a DJ to a remixer producer as well. So he was my idol and mentor in that department. The third person I'd have to say am in admiration of is David Guetta, because I know of him, we go back maybe 30 years zone, and he did a record in the early 90s called Up, Up and Away featuring Robert Owens. So it was David Guetta featuring Robert Owens. And he always had credited me to being the first person to play his music in America that he knew of. And it was something that, you know, I knew it was underground, I knew it was different, but I knew that when I had the attention of the music industry at my parties in Miami during the conference, I would play something like that, and people would be like, what is this? What is this? You know, and those days are kind of gone. I miss those days. And he still talks about it till this day, and he's remained friendly with me. He played a set for my 60th birthday during COVID. He invited me to be a guest of his at High in Ibiza. I did kind of like a resident, monthly resident. I did a guest spot each month on his Friday nights, and it was an honor. And yeah, I mean, I think he's so down to earth. If I send him a text, he replies really quick, you know, humorous. It's just, so yeah, Larry Levan, you know, I'd love to throw in Frankie Knuckles, but you said just three. So Larry Levan, Shep Pettibone, throw in Tony Humphries, David Guetta.
The three artists on my dance music Mount Rushmore are Grandmaster Flash, Larry Levan, and Carl Cox. Three very handsome fellas. Think they'll look great immortalised in stone.
The late great Frankie Knuckles will be forever remembered as the godfather of house, and he was a true pioneer of electronic music. He transformed the Chicago music scene and arguably helped create house music. His innovative use of drum machines and soulful mixes paved the way for house music's global ascent, leaving an indelible mark on the genre. Knuckles' ability to blend soulful vocals with infectious beats created timeless tracks, and his legacy continues to resonate throughout the electronic music landscape despite his passing in 2014.
Frankie Knuckles was not just a really pivotal person in he was a conduit of what was happening in New York, going to Chicago. What happened in Chicago, he brought it back to New York. He thence took it around the world. He was a great ambassador. He was, apart from being right at ground zero of everything that was going on in dance music for most of his career. Apart from that, he was a great ambassador because he was a very warm, friendly, generous man. And he got that it was all about people having fun. It was about challenging some boundaries. It was about maintaining certain cultural references, but above all, it's about people going out and using music as a celebration. And Frankie's whole life was a celebration. I've never seen him not celebrating something. You meet him in a lift, it's like he's beaming and gushing about the latest record that he's heard or made, or your record. Yeah, he was a very, very warm, generous person and a great ambassador for dance music, taking it out of a very small, almost ghettoized culture and selling it to the world.
At the Sound Factory, I have a room that's big enough to house about 3,000 people. On an average, I do between, I'd say 1,700 and 2,000 people on a Saturday night. I started playing records in 1971. A very close friend of mine offered me a job playing on Mondays and Tuesdays at this nightclub, which was paying considerably a whole lot more money than what I was making working in the department store. It was easy money. I thought it was an easy job. All I had to do was just put one record on after another. But then I got a chance to really experiment with doing different things with records that I never knew could actually be done. I do a 12-hour set every Saturday evening. It's not as exhausting as most people probably think it would be. If I don't take care of myself physically, get the proper rest, and do all the necessary things to prepare myself for Saturday night, it could be very exhausting. The period I enjoyed the most was between 1977, 78, and 1983, for the reason that in dance music, even though between 77 and 1980, 81, granted disco music was still pretty big then, but there was also still an innocence and a purity about dance music itself. The years of like 1984 and probably 1986, everything just got real dormant and got kind of stale musically. In all the clubs I've worked in, the Warehouse, Continental Bass, Sound Factory, you need enough material to feed an audience like that all night long. And if you don't have enough, it gets a little scary. When I first started playing records, I always thought it was just something to do, just to supplement, my income a little bit, help me pay my way through school, and that kind of thing. And in the beginning, I never really looked at it as anything serious. I had to think about all the different options I had when it came to developing a career as a disc jockey. I figured if I'm going to play records, then I've got to be as good as I possibly can be.
Frankie House is Frankie House story. Frankie House is authentic. The Frankie House is what's the difference from blue jeans and Levi's? Frankie House is Levi's. That's it.
He was the most important guy in the house?
Absolutely. For me, he's my teacher. For me, the best DJ for house music, the best creative, simple, chic, normal, gay, is the best.
So, could you just tell us a little bit about your introduction to music before you was a DJ? How your tastes were honed. What was the music? Who were your influences?
I think unconsciously, as a kid, growing up in the South Bronx, I used to sit in elementary school. I used to doodle, draw, sketch, anything, and so my folks, the best way to keep me quiet, give Frankie a pencil and he's all good. And so what would happen is that when I'd come home from school, I'd sit there and the stereo would be on, my sister's stereo would be on, and I'm just listening to whatever music she's playing or whatever, and just sketch it. And I would sketch all day, all night, and she's playing whatever, or I'm listening to whatever she's, and I think those were the things that actually probably was pushing me along, but I didn't realize it. Everything from Wes Montgomery to Sergio Mendes and Brazil 66, and, a lot of jazz, and then, the Motown stuff that I would hear on the street anyway. So it was a lot of that. And by the time I got into High School of Art and Design, whenever I had to sit down and do homework, or I had to work on a project in school, I'm listening to music. But by the time I got into like the 11th grade, I learned what it was to go out and hang out. I'm running around with Larry Levan at this particular point, and discovering all these clubs and all this nightlife and stuff. So he took me to the loft for the very first time. There you have it.
When did you bring him to Napoli?
92. The small club 92, after 2 years, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000 people. I work for Frankie around the world, in Napoli, Florence, Milano, London, Ibiza, Mykonos. For me, the very special man, because New York, but influence European influence inside. It's the simple mixing, the creative, the normal. It's DJ.
Frankie Knuckles, a human with such a big heart, loving soul, friendly, talented, and everybody loved him, and he loved everybody.
Sì, molto, molto, molto. Frankie per me, oltre ad essere un grande uomo e un grande artista, era veramente un gentleman come pochi, una persona squisita. Frankie Knuckles per me è, oltre ad essere il padrino, il papà dell'house music, l'inventore di questo genere musicale, ha dato veramente ha fatto cambiare quella che era la scena del DJ. Il DJ era uno dei, invece grazie a lui la scena è completamente cambiata, sono diventate vere e proprie pop star, ma lui è rimasto la persona squisita che era. Da noi a Napoli veniva almeno 4 volte l'anno, era tra virgolette forse il nostro DJ resident, quindi era per noi tutti era un riferimento, un papà, per qualsiasi erano le novità che uno affrontava in quei periodi.
He was a Liberace of DJs.
One of my, favourite memories, because in going back to Chicago, and finding the warehouse, just because I was interested a bit, like yourself, of finding these spaces and having a look. Obviously it's nothing now. And then you look up in the streets, Frankie Knuckles' way, and his influence. Barack Obama, wrote an obituary to Frankie Knuckles when he died.
Carl Cox, often hailed as the king of Ibiza. Now, he's a pioneer of house music, known for his dynamic performances and relentless passion. Cox has been a driving force in electronic music for 4 decades. His legendary sets at Space Ibiza are etched in dance music history, solidifying his status as a living legend. And beyond the decks, Carl is a passionate auto enthusiast. He also advocates for the culture of dance music, emphasizing community, creativity, and inclusivity.
Carl Cox is, for me, he's seminal. Mainly because he's my homeboy. When I moved to Brighton, he was the king of Brighton, and he took me under his wing, and he helped me when I was starting out. And but I still think he's still my favourite DJ to watch. He's like the DJ's DJ. Every DJ, if he's playing there, we'll go and watch him because it's just infectious. His enthusiasm about the music he plays and his knowledge of the music he's played. I mean, anyone can be knowledgeable, but to infuse that knowledge with an almost childlike enthusiasm of every tune and every moment, his connection with the audience. I so much of him that he just picks people out in the audience and he's like, isn't this great? Are you having a good time? I'm having a good time. And he communicates with the audience and always makes it about the audience, not just about him.
Carl Cox, I call him the human machine. I mean, he is unstoppable and he can do no wrong, in my opinion.
Carl Cox is a very special, big names. I think they're very nice men, nice friends. For the techno, Carl Cox play house, techno, disco, everything. The best, Carl Cox from electronic, no house. For electronics, the best. House, I prefer Frankie Knuckles. But Carl Cox is the entertainment, story, industry, Carl Cox.
And he's been going
the boss, years. Yes. For electronics, the best. Laurent Garnier, the best. Carl Cox is the best. Jeff meets sometimes. The same.
My first kind of experience with electronic music in a live setting goes way back, into the early 80s, where a lot of kind of, bands were experimenting with with electronic music, with synthesizers, drum machines, all this sort of stuff. And, a lot of the music that is still relatable today comes from kind of early sounds of Kraftwerk, Gary Newman, Cars, the kind of bands were kind of experimenting with keyboards, Herbie Hancock, Rocket, all this music that I was really exposed to, I loved because it was just something futuristic, something that we wasn't expecting to be basically inspired by for so many years, even still today. If you can imagine that most of the music that was being made at that time was from bands. So, you have a guitarist, you have a drummer, you'd have a lead vocalist, all this sort of stuff. And Kraftwerk had none of that. They literally just had four guys, literally playing music from the computers. They were the blueprint, really, in what we're listening to today. A lot of the early music was already dabbling with synthesized sounds. And I was always had, one ear on musicianship and the other ear on the electronic side of what was pushing envelopes. And I would imagine at one point in my time in life where I actually discovered pure electronic music being generated and played and performed by Jean-Michel Jarre as an album called Oxygen, Part 1 and Part 2. And when you got to hear this record, there was no one particular track because the whole album, A and B side, was the track. And as you can imagine, till today, that kind of performance of electronic music is still revered as one of the all-time greats of a moment of what basically turned the whole industry on its head based on what is possible with electronic music. It just grew and grew and grew. Did I know it was going to get as big as it ever was? Absolutely not. I gave the scene from 1988 5 years, and that was it. So blessed to be able to do what I do at the level that I do it. And when you look back, the amount of music we've played, people you've met, touched a lot of hearts and souls all over the world, and people remember those times and those moments. In the end of the day, it's all about music. And if I've touched you with my music, then all I can say is thank you.
We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should.
Fatboy Slim, the alias of Norman Cook, revolutionised the electronic music scene with his unique blend of big beat, house and funk, and his infectious tracks and videos like Rockapella Skank, Praise You, and The Weapon of Choice became anthems of the late 90s and early 2000s, characterised by catchy hooks and engaging samples, groundbreaking videos. Cook's innovative approach to DJing, combined with his live performances with visual art, set him apart in the industry.
We've come a long, long way together, through the hard times and the good. I have to celebrate you, baby. I have to praise you like I should. I have to praise you. And it goes on and on and on. That stuff. I haven't been singing for a while.
And as soon as I put the piano on it, I just thought, oh, this sounds like a hit.
We're all in a line, and I think Richard Coffey was up here dancing, and we just kind of stood behind and watched them dance, you know, this whole thing.
When Fatboy Slim sampled my music, it really helped me just survive, more than survive.
My wife sometimes says to me, how come you never write songs about me? And I'm like, well, because I don't really write songs, I just take bits of other people's.
I've been excluded from a lot of work. The jobs had dried up. They were just about closing down the black studies at City College. Don't talk about civil rights, don't talk about racism. So I was in my little apartment, little one-room apartment. Landlord after me about the rent. And one day I come, I'm sitting there, and the woman calls and said, Fatboy Slim has sampled your song. And I said, what? I didn't know what sampling was. And I said, yes? Who's Fatboy Slim?
I cleared the vocal. I cleared it with Camille. I think she was just bemused by the whole thing.
It was refreshing. It was when I first heard it.
When I played her my version, she was like, well, you haven't destroyed the song, but it's very different.
Was that over the phone?
No, we sent it to her and got her permission.
He was very good. He did not try to rip me off. That was very good.
But I think on Praise You, that was the only thing we cleared.
So the Mickey Mouse thing?
I don't know what you're talking about. Now you can have everything in your laptop, but I had hundreds and hundreds of little floppy disks, which each had like 10 samples on them, and then they were sort of catalogued into a cappella, vocals, drum beats at a certain tempo, bass lines, piano lines. And I just used to sit there for hours putting the different floppy disks in and trying them out until you find a kind of collage that works. Because that was another great thing in the 90s. No one really knew the rules about sampling. And you'd put out a record with a big sample on it and no one would say anything, so you'd put out another record with a big sample. And then one day you'd have a big hit and then someone would come and go, actually, I want huge amounts of money off you for that. So it was an exciting time to be flirting with legalities of samples. Nowadays, everything has to be squeaky clean. In those days, it was a bit of a game of what you could get away with and when you'd get your wrist slapped.
I was pleased when I heard it. The rhythm that he added to it, it's very good, very good. It's for dancing, you see. But thank goodness he kept the voice at the pitch so that you heard the words, because that's what I wanted. We've come a long, long way together through the hard time and the good. I said, I have to celebrate you, baby. I really meant baby, but I meant I have to celebrate our people. I have to praise you like I should. You understand what I'm saying? So it had two levels of understanding. Yes, it was very personal, but yes, it was about our family. And I was thanking the people in the movement, especially the men, because many of them, most of them were out front getting beat down. We have the big names. We have the Dr. King, we have the Malcolm X, but there were all ordinary men who got on those buses. We don't know their names, who were on those buses.
Tonight's MTV Video winner, Fatboy Slim.
I'm still really proud of it because it was so stupid and wrong and irreverent and naughty, and MTV refused to play it at first. They said, you're just taking the mickey here.
You know, we ran into Madonna, I met Britney Spears that night, many amazing, talented artists, and somehow our video
won 3 awards, and honestly, I don't know how we did it.
When the song won a Grammy, I'm sitting in my living room and I'm saying, that's me singing at the Grammys. It was in the reviews. Some people thought it was Fatboy Slim. That was the usual comment. Or they didn't comment on it. They just talked about this new song. But it was out there. It was out there that it was my name attached to it. It was never hidden to my knowledge.
If you can imagine 250,000 people all going that way.
Dance music is based on escapism and hedonism and making people forget their worries of the week. They feel free and sexy and drunk and...
I was really high, I'm afraid to say, on life.
It could have been the pinnacle of my career, but obviously with that amount of people, it was Normstock, and it was like in the same way that Woodstock is acknowledged as a kind of a pinnacle of hippie culture that kind of killed the dream. It was tainted by the bad press I got and the poor unfortunate girl who died afterwards, which they kind of tried to blame on me, which was horrible.
Yeah, she fell down,
Yeah, that was a sad thing. A local station came in for the interview and he said, right, 1, dead, the beach not able to be, out of action for 10 years. What do you have to say for yourself? It affected Norman and it affected all of us. We were all very upset.
It should have been my great moment, and a lot of the music press just go, oh yeah, the disastrous gig where a girl died, and So, and also that poor girl dying, I mean, it was like 3 hours after the show, but I still feel bad for her, and I still feel some way responsible because I was the reason she was in Brighton that night.
I don't think anybody blames him
No,
personally.
not at all.
He does so many special things in Brighton.
He puts a lot of money back into the town, invests in the football club. He's just taken over one of the cafes up there,
He's Mr. Brighton. He's put his face to the town and stood up for it. So you got to say thanks, Norman.
The most important element of being a great DJ, I think, is communication with the crowd. It's making them feel that they are part of the party, and it's not just you educating them or getting off on your kind of power or status or anything. It's about engaging with them and me having a party with them, and that involves me being close to the crowd. The closer I am to the crowd, the better it is, I think, the better the party is. I DJ because the only way I can truly enjoy music is to share it with other people. As soon as I hear a tune that I really like, all I want to do is play it to my mates or my house, my family or other people. And so my love of music involves it being shared with people. Plus I'm a bit of a show-off.
And his playful personality and commitment to creativity has solidified his status as a beloved figure in electronic music, and he's also influenced generations of artists and fans.
I remember when electronic music first spoke to me. It was in 1977, and I was a 14-year-old punk rocker, and I just discovered my tribe, which was punk rock, which was like about rebellion and loud, snotty music, and contained within, around the same time, there was this disco sucks movement, which was rejecting of disco music. And so we were like, we like aggressive, hard music. And in the midst of all this teenage rebellion, I heard this song called I Feel Love by Donna Summer. was like, in the midst of all the punk rock I was listening to, there was something about this record that just spoke to me. And it was like these little, I don't know, it's like aliens speaking to me, going, hi, we're beautiful and lovely and warm and cuddly, and this is probably what it sounds like to be on drugs. And just the noise of what Giorgio Moroder did with a sequencer and a sequenced bass line. And that was basically 10 years before house music.
I love Fatboy Slim. He's always happy. He brings energy.
He's having fun all the time.
Always.
It's infectious. His music videos, I mean, I love him.
Fatboy Slim, I always enjoyed being his company. Very humorous, and you could always sense the fiesta in his sets. Like you just see him, and you just want to hug him and sing along.
I'm a walker, I'm a stalker, I'm a thief, I'm a liar.
Norman's got a very, very interesting story because it wasn't really intended to be a record. It was just a mashup. I had this vocal that Dan Diamond had sent me, which I thought was really good. I thought, well, I'll just try putting it over a track and see how it sounds. So I found this Luca Guerrieri track called Only You, and it sounded really good over that. So it was kind of a mashup that became a record. That's the only way I really make new stuff these days. I don't ever go into the studio and go, I'm going to write a new tune, because I kind of figure those days are over for me. So what happens is I go in the studio and I make mashups to play in my DJing sets, and then some of them evolve into singles. I haven't got the arrogance to make something and go to a record company and go, put this out, this is brilliant. So what I do is I just try it out in my sets. I let the crowd do the A&R for me because I don't trust my ears at my age. For the last year, I've been singing it to the crowd, especially some certain lines. And you have kids like with their parents in the front row, and I sing the line about I'm a pervert and a peeping Tom through a hole I watched your mum to the kid. Which it gives me great delight.
I'm a pervert and a peeping Tom through a hole I wash your mom.
This is the B-side, this is high, this is Future Rave. My name is David Guetta. Are you ready?
I had the wildest dream last night in Ibiza, right across from Ushuaia. There was a fucking DJ in the bathroom.
It's 9 p.m. on a fucking Friday. It's 9 p.m. on a fucking Friday. Get the fuck, get the fuck. It's 9 p.m. on a fucking Friday. It's 9 p.m. on a fucking Friday. Get the fuck up. We're going to high. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Going to high. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Let's go. Going to high. Let's go. 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 Let's go. 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 Let's go. 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 Let's go. Get the fuck. Let's go.
David Guetta,
sweetheart, very humble.
Then there's David Guetta, who brought electronic music into the mainstream. Blending pop and electronic sounds, his collaborations with top artists like Kelly Rowland have dominated the charts, making him a household name and a key figure in electronic music's global expansion. Emerging from the Parisian club scene, Guetta has consistently pushed the boundaries of electronic music, inspiring a new generation of artists and fans alike.
My passion is to use music as a universal language that brings people and cultures together to share a special moment in time.
You take your aim.
So the first, it's hard to speak about a key decision before even putting context, because what's really crazy is then when I started to DJ, there was no example in front of me. So today, all the kids want to be DJs because they see us, you know, with the fame, they see us on social media, they see us making a lot of money. But in the time that I started, there was no money to be made. There was no example of a famous DJ. The concept didn't exist. So the first thing was to be passionate about my project. And then later on, some things started to happen, especially in my case with house music, that I realized that there was an underground movement and that I wanted to share it with the world, just because I was passionate about a certain type of music. And instead of doing what everyone else in my scene was doing, which was like, we want to stay underground, we don't, you know, it's like a secret society, we're the coolest people, we're better than the others. I was like, I love this music, I want to share it with everyone. And that was a key decision. So in what I do, success can be measured in many different ways. So there's the let's say the commercial success, you know, like being on the radio, having pop hits. Then there's the cultural impact that is also very, very important in what I do. So creating music that is going to influence the scene and change the music trends in the world. Then of course there's like how many people are coming to my shows. And I would say that financial success is also part, it's not the only one, but it's part of the different aspects of success, because at some point you can be as cool as you want, numbers speak. That's my opinion. So, you know, how many tickets can you sell? How many people are listening to your music? But also, like I said, what is the cultural impact I have? And that's very hard to measure, but it's real and it's very important. Actually, it's interesting. It's a very good question, because if I think about what makes me the most proud, it's probably two things. There's a moment in my life where I combined urban music and dance music, which they were considered enemies before, and that became the biggest global phenomenon, and that changed the history of pop music, especially in America. And that is probably my proudest moment. But in general, I think it's my participation in helping the DJ culture to be more respected, to be well known, and to cross over in mainstream. Starting a stadium tour, which is, you know, unheard of for a DJ and very rare even for an artist, period, like pop, rock. You can count on two hands how many artists can do that. I don't think I would change anything, because I could say I don't worry so much, but maybe it's because I worried so much that I worked so hard. I think it's great to always envision yourself in a better position and do everything that you can to have a better life and, you know, make the sacrifices that are necessary, work harder than the other people so you can achieve what you want, but not in an unrealistic way.
David Guetta, I said he's probably the most humble celebrity DJ I've ever met. You know, he really is paving the way for a lot of people.
David Guetta, again, has been one of the great conduits and ambassadors for taking house music and turning it into EDM and translating it to a much wider audience. And he's a good ambassador. He's a good ambassador. He still remembers why we like it. He's never got too carried away with the stardom bit of it. But at the same time, he's had a laugh. You know, I mean, calling his club "Fuck Me, I'm Famous," you know, set the tone of where he was going with it. And yeah, I mean, I've worked with him and known him all the way through both of our careers, and he's a very genuine man, and genuine in his love of music first.
And Avicii, born Tim Bergling, was a prodigious talent in the electronic music scene. His rise to fame with hits like Wake Me Up and Levels, showcasing his ability to blend catchy melodies with electronic beats.
So when you first started off in the scene, were you more of a DJ or a producer? Did you start off just making tracks and get pushed into the scene, or?
Definitely more producer. Yeah, I started out 100% producer, and then the DJing was kind of, first of all, it was something I held off on because both me and Ash wanted me to be comfortable enough behind the decks, and especially since I started as a producer, so that it would be good like from the moment we started touring. So I started off kind of with pretty good gigs, like almost straight away, and then I just went into touring, and I've been doing it for 4 years now, and almost constantly, you know.
So is Ash the man who discovered you? Were you just a regular Swedish team producing music for fun, or were you driven for superstar status from the start? Did you envision yourself being here?
I didn't envision, not at this level, but I was definitely very focused already. I was already really driven and spending almost, 24 hours a day, working on music. But I mean, I had a couple of, shitty record deals and stuff like that, and but I was really dedicated.
By 26, he was one of the highest paid DJs globally, captivating audiences with energetic performances. However, tragically, Avicii struggled with the pressures of fame and had mental health issues, which tragically led to his passing in 2018 at just 28. And his death highlighted the often overlooked mental health challenges faced by artists. So in remembering Avicii, we celebrate not just his incredible talent and his contributions to music, but also the importance of mental health care, a conversation he inadvertently helped to elevate. His life, though tragically short, remains a powerful reminder of the human experience behind the art. That was so, yeah. Now, all of these DJs are more than performers. They're storytellers and innovators, as through their music, they have connected cultures, broken barriers, and created a lasting legacy. And as we honor these legends We recognise their immense contributions to the electronic music landscape. Their personal journeys and passion for music have propelled the genre to new heights.
Back again. She's not a lover, she's just a friend.